Today, we're going to do like a 10 to 15 minute guided meditation. And so what I mean when I say guided is that I'm going to be talking to you guys throughout it. There will be pauses, there will be a silence, there will be times that I'm just going to ask you to focus on your breath. And and when you're doing this, make sure that you're in a comfortable position. And if you want, you can close your eyes. If you want, you can just sort of like look down, whether it's at your feet or the ground or anything like that. And then I was thinking a lot, just in terms of I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to do this, but just in preparation for this, I was thinking, how much things have changed. It seems like every week. And what I've noticed the past, I would say this week and last week, is that there's sort of a growing restlessness. I think that if we look to, whether it's different provinces or to the States, and, there's movement and things are opening, and a lot of us kind of feel stuck, and it's like, when is normal going to come back? And so I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I feel like there's just been an increased, almost like aggravation and restlessness. And so if this is you, I just want to really, really encourage that you kind of sit with it and just explore like what's going on for you. There's a comment that I hear a lot, and it's, I just want things to go back to normal. I'm waiting for things to go back to normal. I'm waiting for things to go back to normal. And I think there's something really, really interesting about that statement. And if that's you, if you think, oh my gosh, I just want life to resume. I just want life to resume. I would really, really encourage, again, that you lean into that and be curious about what is it that you miss. Because, I work really privately with people. So I get this like amazing experience of getting to know like the ins and outs of people's lives. And I guess the irony for me is that when I was working with people 3 months ago, their normal was miserable. They didn't like the commute. They didn't like the fact that they didn't have time for their fitness or their health. They didn't like, whether it was things that were happening at work or things that were happening in their relationship. And so I sometimes wonder when I hear that, what is the normal? And I really think that this is a time for us to, again, lean into what are we missing, whether it's touch or relationships or sense of control. And what is it that we can really do without? What is it that we're areas of our life that we don't want to return to normal? And I say that because, in introducing the meditation is because sometimes we don't have the space, and it's almost like we don't have the skill, the technique to be quiet with ourselves and to be still with ourselves and to really pay attention to what this experience is like for us. And so for me, meditation is one of the most basic ways of checking in with yourself and saying, how are you? Nobody else, not your partner, not your friend, not your mother, not your father, not your kids, but you to show up in your relationship with yourself and say, honest to God, tell me how you're doing. So we're going to go through 4 things in this guided meditation. We're going to start with our senses, just kind of ground ourselves. We're going to do a body scan. We're going to just take inventory of any thoughts, any emotions that are coming up for us. And then we're going to play the role of an observer, and I'll explain that when we get there. So, and this isn't about you getting Zen. I mean, if you get Zen, that's phenomenal. But this is just about you creating a little bit of spaciousness within yourself, a little bit of breath to center yourself, to feel like your present moment. And your mind might wander to a billion things. It might wander to, the text messages that are popping up. It might wander to like what you need to go to get from the grocery store. It might wander to whether it's anxious thoughts or whatever it may be. That's totally fine. It's totally, totally fine. The actual strengthening, what strengthens the practice of meditation is that every time your thoughts go somewhere else, you bringing it back to your breath. That pullback is what strengthens the meditation. So don't get tripped up in that. Really see that as an opportunity to just bring yourself back. So with that, I'm going to check that everybody is okay. I think we're all good. Feel free to turn. I feel like most of us have turned our cameras off. I'm going to leave my camera on, but I'm going to just keep my eyes to the ground. and let's get started. So I'm going to invite you guys to, again, either close your eyes or just gently gaze at the floor. And we're going to start by taking some really gentle but deep breaths into the nose and out through the mouth. Into the nose and out through the mouth. Into the nose, out through the mouth. Into the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to just keep breathing into the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling the weight of your body. Feeling your body come into contact with whatever object or surfaces, whatever it may be. And just sort of giving yourself permission to just breathe and just be in the moment. We're not trying to be productive. We're just making space for ourselves. Again, into the nose and out the mouth. I want to start with our senses. And even though our eyes are closed, I want you to pay attention to what you see. Whether it's dark or there's little spots, dots, eyes closed, just noticing, what do you see? Into the nose, out through the mouth. Moving down, what do you hear? Is there any white noise? Or is there any big noise? Whatever it is, just acknowledging it. Coming around to your nose, what do you smell? Whether it's a perfume or recycled air, food, whatever it may be, just grounding yourself. Then going to taste, so your mouth. What do you taste? Whether it's old coffee or water, or just saliva, whatever it may be. But again, just grounding yourself in your senses, your experience. Keeping that breath really nice, gentle, easy. And then lastly, where do you feel your body most in contact with the surfaces? Is it your sit bones, your chair, your back? Where do you feel your body most firmly planted? These are your senses. These are your experiences. Taking a couple more deep, easy breaths. And then I want us to start at the top of your head. And sometimes doing a body scan can be helpful if you pair it with a visualization. So as we go down and scan through your body, whether you envision a bright white light that's kind of flowing through you, or like a warm golden honey that's, just like molasses and slowly just like going through. But we're just taking inventory of your body and any sensations that you may have. So starting at the top of your head, going down to the sides, your temples, your jaw, even noticing your teeth. Is there any clenching, any strain, any stress? And if so, acknowledging it and then breathing into these parts of your body. Again, into the nose and out the mouth. Moving down to your neck and the tops of the shoulders. And just letting this like warm light radiate through your arms to your fingers. And just noticing if there's any stress, any discomfort, any tension that your body is holding on to. You just becoming aware and just breathing into these areas. Again, if your mind drifts, that's totally okay. Just bring it back to your breath, bring it back to your body. Coming down, back around to your chest and your solar plexus, and then down to your gut. And that light's going to wrap around your back. Those are some really, really key areas, our chest and our heart and our stomach. We carry so much emotion, so much of our feelings. How do they feel for you? Just seeing that warm light flood those spaces and just breathing into any areas that need some recognition. And slowly moving down to your hips and your pelvic area and your sit bones, the tops of your legs, your thighs. Just seeing that warm light travel through past your knees to your shins and lower legs, all the way to the soles of your feet and your toes. Again, just being easy with your breath and breathing into any areas where there was tension or stress or discomfort. And then I want to invite you to almost make space for any thoughts that keep popping up, any any intrusive thoughts that's been nagging at you. I just want you to make space and just like put them in bubbles. What's been popping up? What have you been thinking about? Where has your mind been going? Maybe your mind's completely still. That's totally okay. Taking a moment to just breathe and reflect. Where does my mind go when I get quiet? Do I go to stress? Do I go to fear? Do I go to gratitude, joy, whatever it may be? There's no right or wrong. And then I want you to make space for how you feel emotionally. What's the dominant emotions that you feel in this moment? Just make space to name them, to acknowledge them. You see them. Taking just a couple of deep breaths. Covering that breath in your own awareness. The last thing, a little exercise that we're going to do is that of an observer. And so, to the best of your ability, I want you to imagine that you're like a little fly on the wall of the room that you're in, or I want you to imagine that there's a tree, a big tree that's like right beside you, and you're like a bird looking down on yourself. So I want you to see yourself from third person. I want you to observe yourself from a distance. I want you to see yourself in this moment, logged onto a Zoom call, doing a meditation session, making space for this, knowing how you feel in your body, knowing the thoughts that you're carrying, knowing the feelings that you're carrying. And from that position of an observer, from that position of being a witness to yourself, what do you think about that person that you see? How do you feel about them? How do you feel about how they're navigating this season, this journey, this moment? When you've seen yourself, once you've acknowledged yourself, I want you to gently bring yourself back to your breath. just take this last minute to ground yourself in your breath. You can hold on to your stomach, you can hold on to your chest, you can move your hands at your side, whatever it may be. Into the nose, to the mouth. Into the nose, out to the mouth. Into the nose, out to the mouth. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes after you've caught your breath, and when you feel ready, when it feels right for you. I want to thank each of you for making time for yourselves to catch your breath and to just create like a little bit of spaciousness for yourselves and all that you're going through. We're all going through something, and there's something really nice about knowing that we're not alone in it. Like even something like this, to connect and to be in a community where right now we don't really feel like we have one. So I thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, if you'd like to be in touch, don't hesitate. Send me an email, send me a note. If you don't have my email, feel free to reach out to Sophie, who organizes, and she can pass along my contact information. But I hope that you guys continue to take care of yourselves. You be good to yourselves. And if you like this, I mean, I will more than likely do this again, but also don't hesitate to recreate it for yourself. Maybe you go through it in 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is better than no minutes. You're so worth the time. You're worth the time. You're worth the space. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Take good care. And if there's anything, be in touch.